Welcome back, everybody, to the Renaissance Stewardism podcast. I'm your host, Jonathan Riley. In today's episode, I will be discussing the geopolitics of winter. Some of you may cringe when you first see the first snowstorms of the seasons, but I'm willing to bet that it's very unlikely that you've ever actually thought about the geopolitical significance of snows, that it would have never crossed your mind. But it's typically in northern and colder climates, particularly in northern Europe, northern China, and northern the United States, where they tend to have the more fertile soil. That's because before the advent of fertilizers, these snows, when it would snow, it used to refertilize the soil, get all the nutrients back into the soil, and lead to better harvests in the summertime. Now, from 1900 onwards, we've had the tripling of fields, and that was only possible through the advent of modern fertilizers. The first fertilizer that was modern was called the N fertilizer, first created in 1903, and without that, we wouldn't be able to have the sustainable massive population booms that we've experienced in the 19th and particularly the 20th century as well. In this century, it's believed that the population is actually going to decline significantly. A big factor is that is due to demographics, feminism, and people who's no longer interested in having large families because families are more expensive. And also hit the lifestyle as well, but also partly to do with people's having more and more things to do, which they see as more worthwhile than having children. The issue of children, the only way you know you can actually have children, or to know that you're actually interested in having a family, is to actually have children, and the only way you know that is by having children. As to more tropical environments, particularly in southern China, in Brazil, they will not be able to produce the world's goods in terms of food and soya without modern fertilizers. For places like Brazil, it will no longer be a big exporter of soya. That means other places such as China, without the actual modern fertilizers, without globalization, they won't be able to actually sustain their populations as well. The reason why this is so significant is due to the decline of globalization. We see that with such as the Houthis that are attacking international shipping in the Red Sea since the 19th of November 2023, and also the fact that the Chinese, the Indians, Brazil to a lesser extent, South Africa and other powers were to break away from the global economic system. But that global economic system, especially for China, enabled their rise. Without that system, without the interconnectivity of political systems of economies, the world what we know today wouldn't exist as well. There's also the issue in northern China due to pollution of soil degradation as well. That's another condition what's also affecting China's ability to actually potentially have bigger and bigger harvests. Also, China suffered problems as well due to fertilizer and growing their crops as well. They had a mass starvation and a humanitarian disaster called the Great Chinese Famine. And that happened between 1959 to late 1961. It killed around 30 million people due to the Chinese Communist Party under Mao Zedong, who ruled China from 1949 till his death in 1976, to kill a bird that was part of the actual food chain. Because it did that, those birds also used to eat locusts and that caused mass famine. That's how human intervention, perceived to be a good, can actually have negative consequences. It also rates the fertilizers as well, that's destroying soil quality and destroying other smart insect creatures such as bees that are essential for pollinating our plants. Thanks for listening to this podcast. I hope you find it interesting and informative. Please take care and peace out.